I've got made a nice little display, and I don't have any tape to hold it up there, so I could do that, but that ain't gonna work. So let's pretend we just saw this. My speech is about, it's entitled, The Internet is Just a Passing Fad. And the interesting thing is, I've been doing this since I got a degree in 1982. So it was a fad back then, and I actually had someone tell me, you know, that internet thing is only a passing fad. Strange thing is, it's not. And I think we see that now, but when it was first said, which is probably about 10, 15 years ago, it was something that was going through some older generation minds. This is something that's going to pass in no time. Here's some statistics I want to share with you that sort of proves, well, there isn't sort of, it's proving that this internet thing is not a fad. And I'm going to read some of the things, so forgive me if I'm looking down. It started, interestingly enough, the internet started in 1984, and it was designed as a tool to be able to communicate between universities and research centers. There was about 1,000 users, or what we call 1,000 computers that were connected together. And that was the beginning of the internet. Great idea to be able to share information between people. Back then there was about 1,000 hosts. In 1998 there were over, now this is 15 years later, went from 1,000 to over 50 million users in 15 years. In 2009, which was 11 years later, we were well over 1 billion. And today we have over 3.5 billion users, which represents about 39% of the entire world's population. I don't know about you, but I'm thinking this ain't a fad, okay? Websites. Now, what do we do online? We search for websites. We go to search engines. Little statistics that are quite interesting. Back in 1984, there was 130 websites. 130. I remember something back then. I was already started in web design, so there was a lot of potential. In 2012, we've got over 634 million websites. It's grown a little bit. I think I've done 1 or 2 of them since then. Searches. Searches really gives you a key of what is going on every day. In 1998, Google had 9,800 searches a day. Just Google by themselves. In 2007, they had 1.2 million a day. I'm sorry, 1.2 billion. Today, we're well over 3.5 billion a day. They represent, Google represents 51% of all the searches done in the world. So you can imagine, there is a lot of searching going on. And it's imperative. Social media, who's not on social media nowadays, right? Interesting statistics about that. Facebook launched in 2004 and grew to over 1 billion users by last year. We're all on Facebook. Who hasn't gotten on Facebook in the last day? I had someone connect with me today on Facebook. Twitter launched in 2006 and grew to over 350 million users by last year. LinkedIn has over 200 million users. Google+, who was thought to be the Facebook killer that Google was trying to come out with, launched in 2011. 2 years later, they've got more users than Twitter in 2 years. And the other social media like Pinterest, YouTube, and Instagram are highly trafficked websites. We're all doing social media, okay? Mobile is the next one. Who doesn't have a mobile phone that gets on the internet? I'll guarantee probably most everyone in here does. The first mobile phone was in 1973, and it was one of those big, huge things that, you know, you take 2 hands to do this, and It was just so much easier getting a long cord. The 3G network came out in 2001, and by 2007 there was 295 million subscribers to just 3G service. It's a lot of cell phones. In 2009, the 4G network came out, which is a whole lot faster. And the faster the internet got, or internet access, the more people wanted to get on it. Now, in 2012, there's over 7 billion, with a B, mobile phone subscriptions. I'm thinking there's only 9 billion in the world, people. So dang near everybody's got one, right? More than half the adults in the U.S. access the web with their phones. And that's the trend nowadays for websites and everything else. We're going to mobile devices because we're so connected. It's hard to get away from anybody nowadays. Finally, mobile apps. Apps are becoming big business, changing the way we access the internet. ABI Research, which is a big research firm online, projected there was 56 billion apps downloaded last year. 56 billion. I have no idea how much money that generated. The jury is still out on that one. Point is that I'm trying to get to is the internet is not just a passing fad. I'm thinking it's here to stay. And it's going to be something to keep an eye on because it will change our lives. Thank you.